What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Leeds United Career Mode. This is episode number 20 we are into, and in today's episode we have games against Sheffield Wednesday, and we also have a game against Fulham coming up in this episode. Two very interesting games for you to watch as well and take on board, see what happens in both of these episodes. We are still chasing, obviously, that top two promotion place that currently is held by Villa and Norwich. So we are sat in third, quite comfortably out in third as well, may I add. But now we've got the task of chasing the front two, and obviously I want to make sure that we pick up wins here. That's all I want to try and do. I want to make sure we're winning games. I want to try and get that gap to as little as possible going into the final little bit of this career mode series. So fingers crossed, we can try our best in order to try and get ourselves up into that two top positions by the end of the season. So that's what I'm looking to do here today with Leeds United, and here obviously coming towards the end of the season now. That's our aim for this end of the season. We're obviously still in the FA Cup as well after beating Norwich last episode, so we're still in that as well. So we've got a goal to do in this, and we've got a goal to do in the FA Cup as well. So we've got the goal in the Championship is to try and reach the top two. If we can do that, great. If we can't, we'll be playing in the playoffs. But the second goal of the series as well is to go as far as we possibly can now in the FA Cup. Obviously, when we started in the FA Cup, when we beat Blackburn so many episodes ago, I said to you guys I wasn't bothered about where we finished or if we even won that game against Blackburn and went through in the FA Cup. But now we are in the quarterfinals. We take on Liverpool as well. You'll be seeing that in the next episode. We have a real chance at battling for some silverware in our first season, let alone obviously the playoffs. That classes as silverware as well in my eyes, obviously, because that's the other competition we can able to win in this. But we also have the chance of battling for the FA Cup, which is an absolutely unbelievable thing. I didn't expect to be saying that when we started this career mode not so long ago, especially playing on Legendary. I was not expecting to knock out the size that we have been able to do and get into the position where we are currently in the FA Cup. So it's very, very nice to see as well. But a lot of that has to go down to the fact that we've got a great side here at Leeds. Sacco's been unbelievable in that competition for us. Obviously, the players that we've called upon have been good as well in it. So that is basically down to the fact that our team have been so good during the competition, as well as being at home as well. We've got a lot of luck with the draws. We've not got luck against the teams that we're playing, but the fact that we've been drawn at home quite a number of times, I think, has probably helped us in that respect as well. Having the home crowd to back us there in the FA Cup has taken them as far as we can go. Right now we have Liverpool, like I said, in the next episode coming up, and that's the quarter-final. After that, if we win that, we will only be getting Premier League sides from there on out. So, we have a chance to go to Wembley in our first season here at Leeds. We just have to win that quarter-final game, which is in the next episode, and then we'll be in Wembley, I do believe, because I think the semi-finals are played at Wembley in the FA Cup, so that would be very nice to see if we could reach it. But enough about Wembley, because we have Sheffield Wednesday in this game here, as the first chance fell Sheffield Wednesday's way, and it was a penalty kick, which I was very disappointed to see, because if you take a look at this, I see nothing wrong with Jansen's challenge. You'll see it again, the referee sort of like, it sort of like waves his hands as if to say, I don't know what you're complaining about. But look at this. Jansen wins the ball. It's actually Cooper, sorry. Wins the ball. I see nothing wrong with that challenge, but the referee obviously says it's a penalty kick, and Gary Hooper steps up. Silvestri trying to make himself look big. I was thinking at the time of this, he's actually going to go to the left, but I chose to go to the right last second. I was thinking, you know what? He's going to go right, and I guessed correctly. Hooper with the rebound, though, sends it goalwards, but Silvestri makes a double save as he keeps us in this game 15 minutes into it. We're still 0-0, which is very nice to see. But 18 minutes into the game, Sheffield Wednesday would put the ball into the back of the net. You're going to see it coming up in a second. The ball gets played through, played a 1-2. Well, I guess you could say a 1-2 across the face of the box. And it's put in the end by, I'm not entirely sure who it was who actually put it in. But thankfully, he's offside, which means Sheffield Wednesday had 2 or 3 chances there. And they haven't actually taken the lead, which is very, very weird to see. The fact that they've had 3 chances, 3 good chances as well, and they're not leading in the game. But there, guys, I have no idea how he can see he had the thought process that Cooper's was a penalty, but then we get taken out in the box, and the referee says that that's not a penalty, which is balmy. I have no words for why he didn't give that. That's absolutely crazy. But we are creating a few chances into the second half now, as Stuart Dallas turns his man, and all he had to do was hit the target, and unfortunately he sends his effort wide of that post, which I couldn't quite believe at the time. I was thinking, Dallas, mate, you really are not stepping up. You're really showing me the bad part of you. I need you to be putting those on target. He didn't do that. As we win ahead here in the 55th minute, send it into Sacco. Sacco into Kamaru. Good turn from the number 7. Battles away to get the ball back. He gives it to Sacco yet again. Sacco through to Kamaru. Gets there ahead of the defender. And you can guarantee that when Kamaru is in this position, we hit that across the goalkeeper into that top corner for an absolutely wonderful strike from Kamaru, but it's, well, you know, kudos to him. He battled away, he battled hard to be able to get into that position, and then when he gets there, the ball from Sacco isn't brilliant, but he gets there ahead of the defender, nicks round the corner of him, gets into a good position and just fires that back across the keeper. And it was so close to going over, but thankfully it ends up nestling into that top corner, which makes it 1-0 to Leeds United on the day. Very, very lucky to be 1-0 up in this one, because we could have quite easily been 1-0 down, like I said. If Silvestri doesn't make that double save, in which it wasn't a penalty to begin with, but obviously Silvestri, all the credit goes to Silvestri because it is a penalty. The referee gives it at the end of the day, so it has to be given. Although it wasn't a penalty in my eyes, the referee saw it differently, and all credit goes to Silvestri for making that double save and keeping the score at 0-0. And obviously we managed to capitalise on that by going 1-0 up the other end and making it 1-0 as Kamar Roof ended up getting in for a second time there in the 63rd minute. But unfortunately this time his strike went straight at the goalkeeper. 85 minutes now as Ronaldo Vieira and co getting into a very good position here with, I do believe that's Louis Cole down the left-right hand side. Puts the cross in. Stuart Dallas again with a big chance in the half to try and get himself a goal or get himself on the score sheet. And he headed his effort wide of the post. And that was the way the game would end. So a 1-0 victory on the day to us. A very, very good result when you give away the circumstances that we had. Giving away a penalty, which wasn't a penalty, but it was given. Silvestri makes the double save to keep us in it, and then we managed to put the ball in the back of the net with Kamar Roof. So very, very good day at the office if you take that into consideration. Picking up the 3 points, yes, we only won it by 1-0, and it wasn't the most convincing, but all that matters is that we pick up them 3 points as we are chasing those two on the top of the table. As you can see now, the gap is down to 9. 9 points is all that separates me and Villa sat in second. We've managed to claw it down to 9 points. That's 3 wins, provided that they lose theirs as well. So I am really looking forward to this. I'm gonna say right now, this is going to be quite a tense end to the season for Villa and Norwich, who are sat there. Probably not Norwich because they are a little bit further ahead in terms of that one, but especially for Villa, this is going to be an interesting end towards this season. If we can keep winning the games that we're winning like we are, then they are going to be shaking in their boots because we are coming after them, and we are coming after them fast as well, I have to say. I wasn't looking too confident at it and thinking, you know, I did write us off a number of episodes ago, but looking at it now, our form, I see no reason why we can't win these games and chase them right down to the final day of the season. So hoping that that's going to be the case here, as we did have a game against Fulham, obviously, the next game in this episode. We do take on Liverpool, like I said, for the next one. And I can't wait to show you guys that episode. That's going to be an unbelievable game when I play that. If we do get through, you won't believe the scenes that you're going to see. It is at home as well, which is what I said. We get very lucky with these draws so far. We haven't really been too lucky in terms of the people that we've drawn. But the fact we've been at home as well has made it a lot better for me. But if we do get through and beat Liverpool, we will be playing against the Premier League side, because after this, there's only Premier League sides left in this. So it means that we will be going to Wembley against a Premier League side to play in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. I hope I'm right by saying that. I'm pretty sure we do take it into Wembley with the semi-final of the FA Cup, which is going to be interesting, because I wasn't expecting to play at Wembley with Leeds unless it was going to be in the playoff final, which I actually wasn't expecting to be in the playoffs. I was expecting to get a top 2 finish, and if we didn't manage to do that, I wasn't expecting us to be in the playoffs then. But yeah, it's been a bit disappointing this season so far. We've picked it up towards the middle and the back end of the season, which is very nice to see as well. The fact that we got so far in the English League Cup as well made me happier, but the fact that we got knocked out to Arsenal the way we didn't make me too happy. But now we're into a very good position in the FA Cup as well, which is technically more prestigious than the EFL Cup. We'll get more money as well for going further in this one, so I'm very happy we've managed to take this one further rather than the EFL Cup, which we've managed to do. Gets a bit of funds into the club as we'll be able to sign a few new players into the side for the next season coming up here in career mode. As you can see, this is the side that we would name against Fulham here for this second game of this episode. Joel Green, Chris Wood and Alex Iwobi are the front three on the day. It's pretty much our usual, well, I'm going to call it our usual league side, because I'm not going to call it the first team anymore, as we don't really know who the first team is anymore with the way that the team's playing. So we have 23 players, or 24 players actually, who could easily fit into either side, and they've been unbelievable for us all season. So I'm very happy to say we have a nice bit of squad depth at the club, but are they going to be good enough if we do make it to the Premier League? Probably not, as Joel Green has the first effort on goal for us there. Very nice run from him. His shot, though, is well saved by the Fulham goalkeeper, who goes by the name of Button. Never heard of him, actually. I don't actually know who he is. Bridge cut now into Alex Iwobi. Lays one round the corner to Joel Green. Joel Green threw over the top to Ronaldo Vieira, but he couldn't keep his strike down. Sends it blazing over the bar. Very disappointing in the end, because it was nicely worked by us to get into the position to give Ronaldo Vieira the chance to have a pop at goal. But then when he gets into the position, he needs to be doing much better with it than that, and that is just atrocious in front of goal from Ronaldo Vieira. But in all his credit, he has been absolutely brilliant for us in that middle of the park. He's controlled games when we've needed him to control games. As we send through Alex Iwobi here, couldn't quite get away from the defender. The tackle is made. We get a lot of luck as it bounces back to Chris Wood, but just as we get a lot of luck, I press circle and Chris Wood just didn't shoot. He kept on running and ran away from the ball, and unfortunately we didn't manage to take the chance on and put it in the back of the net. Into the second half now, as Fulham came forward for their first chance of the game. Nice back heel by their player into a position I was thinking, please don't steal this, as they sent their shot agonisingly wide past the post for them, but thankfully for us we did see it go wide, as it was very nicely worked by them. Over the top ball now from Ronaldo Vieira, who into Chris Wood. Like I said, Vieira's passing ability this season has been brilliant. Found another great ball there into Chris Wood, but a fine save from the goalkeeper kept the score at 0-0. Win the resulting corner, it's cleared away. Berardi has it on the edge of the area. I'm thinking, get in. As soon as that left Berardi's foot, I was thinking this is going in that top corner, and it didn't, unfortunately for us, as we couldn't quite squeeze that into that top corner. If we had have done that, I'd have gone absolutely mental at the time. If you see from this angle here, it was so close to nestling in the back of the net, and it would have surely have wrapped up the 3 points here. It was so late in the game, and I was thinking, Baradi's got this for us, but unfortunately he didn't manage to do it, and that was the way the game would end. So a 0-0 draw here at Fulham, which is very disappointing to see, but at the same time, we did obviously win that game against Sheff Wednesday, which we probably didn't deserve to if you take away the fact that we obviously saved the penalty through a double save, and then that chance that they had is offside. You know, in terms of that one, you know, it swings and roundabouts. We probably didn't deserve to win that one, but then we got a draw here, so it's a bit disappointing. But we are coming towards the end of this career mode episode. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to drop that like button. Thank you so much for watching the episode. I have been Danny, and I'm out. Adios.
Olympic Lyonnais 3 after extra time. English Football League Championship. Birmingham City 2, Wigan Athletic 2.